A big downside move in the stock market on Friday. Is that a signal that there is more weakness to come? Well, in this video, I will answer that question and I'll tell you what to watch for as a further confirmation that perhaps a stock market crash is coming. In addition, I will analyze the overall markets and we'll look at the trade of the week on a big mover from Friday, RMSG. But let's get into the first question. Does the weakness on Friday signal a stock market crash? As we said at the top of the video, the market was down sharply, about 2.6% on the S&P 500. Now I want to consider three things: the trend lines, the shape of the pattern, and the weakness relative to recent gains. And then of course we can decide what to watch for next. Here is a chart of the S&P 500 on a weekly time frame. And what you can see is that we had the breakdown on Friday, which paints that weekly chart with a red candle. It's very similar to what we had here, or what we had here, or what we had here. And notice that each of those led to some weakness. And I think that that is probably what's going to happen. There's a few things to consider, however. First of all, we had considerable gains into this weakness on Friday of last week. And really what's happened is the market has come up to the top of this price channel. That's where you expect to get some selling pressure. In addition, we have not built a falling top. Notice that here we had a top and another top and then weakness. And here we sort of rolled over after going sideways for 4 or 5 weeks. There's no such thing here. This is simply more like this, little rounds of profit taking after considerable gains. It's pretty normal. So what we want to watch for next week is the build of a falling top, which would mean we'd have to rally back a little bit, fail to make a new high, and then roll over again with some sharp weakness. I don't think that that's going to happen in the near term. And that doesn't mean we should not remain somewhat cautious going forward, because I do think the market is pretty extended to the upside and it deserves to have some profit taking. But I think we should probably view that profit taking as an opportunity to buy some bargains. You know, some sectors of the market, particularly the semiconductors, have made considerable gains. I will show you the chart of the NASDAQ in just a moment, and you will see that it made a lot of gains, and it's only natural that people will want to take some profit. But if you are a longer term investor in the market, there's really no reason to jump out just because we expect a few weeks of profit taking. If you're more of a trader, then you might want to sell here with a view to buying back at lower prices in the next few weeks. Ultimately, we want to see some confirming weakness signals, which again is a breakdown from a falling top. If we fail to make a new high, go sideways for a while, and then roll over for a second time, that is often what leads to a more substantial round of weakness. Most likely what we're seeing right now is a round of profit taking. All right, let's get into the normal market analysis, look at all the markets and figure out where they are likely to go and where there is opportunity. So I'm going to jump into my website, Stockscores.com. A reminder that I have a free weekly email newsletter. It's free. It doesn't give you a bunch of garbage. It's strictly analysis of the markets, no spam, no marketing. Just here's the markets, here's some tips, and here's some things to consider for stock trades. So make sure you register for that at Stockscores.com. All right, let's jump into the charts, and we'll start with the S&P 500 again because I want to show the daily chart. And there you can see the considerable gains. Now, back when the war with Iran started, we had the weakness, and it's very typical when a war starts to get that weakness and then to get a strong rally afterward. Well, we've had that, a little overextended, and probably going to pull back in the short term. Now, the NASDAQ shows even greater gains because most of the strength in the market was in those large cap tech companies, particularly the semiconductors. And we had a very sharp move to the downside on Friday, and that's probably just profit taking. You've got a lot of money on the table and people just want to take their profits and settle into maybe some cash looking for bargains. All right, let's take a look at the Russell 2000, IWM. It had some weakness as well, but it hasn't made the kind of gains that the NASDAQ has made. It's still holding its upward trend line. And so we shouldn't be too concerned yet. But again, what we're worried about seeing is if we try to make a rally, make a falling top, and then break down from a falling top. That hasn't happened yet, but something to watch for in the weeks ahead. Moving along to the Canadian market, T.XIU is still in that bullish upward trend. And if we look at the 1 month, 2 hour chart, you can see even better that although we had that weakness on Friday, we haven't broken the upward trend line, just slightly below, but still relatively healthy. And I think we're likely to turn up next week. Now, gold and oil are big influences on the Canadian market, and gold has been fairly bearish over the last 3 months since it had that parabolic rise. And right there, I call that a bursting bubble signal. When you have a parabolic trend, a curve, you hit a new high and close below the open, that's usually a signal of a top. And we've seen that play out on gold. And that's why the stock scores are pretty weak right now. We've got falling tops, and this Friday, we broke down through support. Now, big picture, the 3-year weekly chart, the big picture is that the trend is still up. I can draw a trend line like this, and then the steeper one like that. That's been broken, and perhaps we're now going to fall into that more shallow trend line. Let's take a look at oil now, and of course, lots of volatility in oil around headlines out of Iran and the Middle East. It is still in a sort of situation of rising bottoms, but the slope of the bottoms is steeper than the slope of the tops, which tells us that momentum is starting to slow. If we start to break down through this floor from this falling top, then I expect oil prices to recede, and it'll be time to take some profits in that group. Moving along to the currencies, US dollar had a pretty good jump on Friday. You can see it breaking through some resistance from this little ascending triangle. Next stop is this level of resistance, but the short-term outlook for the US dollar is fairly positive. Looking at Bitcoin, it had a terrible couple of weeks here. And, I've been bearish on this for a little while. We had a little brief short-term bull run there, but the big picture is of falling tops. And if we look at the 3-year weekly chart, we can see that that is now an important breakdown. And I think Bitcoin is best avoided. So looking at my ratings then, neutral on US large cap, NASDAQ, and small cap in the short term, but still bullish in the long term. Canadian stocks bullish on both time frames. Gold, short-term bearish, long-term neutral. Oil, neutral on both time frames. The US dollar now bullish in the short term, but still long-term neutral. Bitcoin looking bearish, and then bonds neutral on both time frames. Let's take a quick look at the bond chart. I forgot to show that. TLT is the symbol there. And of course, the bond market, if it's going up, that means interest rates are going down. This, of course, has been going down, which means interest rates have remained stubbornly high in the US. The bond market tends to predict what the US Fed will do. And although there's some expectation that the Fed will lower rates soon, the bond market doesn't really agree with it. We still don't see a strong upward move in bonds. All right, now let's get into the trade of the week. This is an example of a stock that we traded in the Stockscores Active Live service. You can learn more about that at stockscores.com. And this particular stock gave us a great signal in the pre-market. And sometimes the pre-market presents some great opportunities. And right there we had our action candle indicator fire, surprise strength from low volatility. You see the ramp up in volume, low float stock, very liquid, a lot of trades, even on this 1 minute interval, trading over 1,000 times in a 1 minute interval. And that led from this move to just under $2 to $3.50 within about half an hour, 45 minutes. And so those are the things we love to do. Obviously, you have to have a way to find them, and that action candle indicator that I've created for me and my students is the way to do that. All right, I want to wrap up the video now. If you think the stock market is going to crash, let me know in the comments. And if you're thinking that the bull trend continues, we'd love to hear that as well. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, click the like button, and as always, trade well.